Hello everybody, my name is Kenneth and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are diving back into DPR IAN. I know it's been such a long time since my last DPR IAN reaction, with me taking breaks, a bunch of stuff coming out that I also wanted to react to. I don't give priority or lack of priority to any of the artists that I react to. So what that means is, if there's something I want to react to on a particular day when I want to react and record, that's what I do. So that's just kind of a little bit of why. It's not that like, oh, I wasn't interested in DPR IAN anymore or his music. I still am. I love him. He's great. I was actually talking last week, I know, the little ramble about, I was in a Nitra from Say What Reacts stream last week, and I was like, one of the things on my bucket list is for DPR IAN to call me darling, not in like a weird way, just because it's such a, like, he has like such a satisfying way of of saying the word darling, and it's just, I don't know, it just and so yeah, it's not a case, as I said, it's not a case of me not liking him or anything like that. I just got overwhelmed with things. I react to a lot of artists here, and so that's basically the reason. But today we are going to be checking out DPR IAN's Scaredy Cat. As some of you may remember, also I'm so sorry, it's really warm in my room right now because of the lights. As you may remember, I've been reacting in order. The Maito series, you may remember a while ago, a commenter gave me an order. Forgive me, I'm not very good at remembering names, but they gave me an order of which to react to things in, and Scaredy Cat is the next on my list. We have a documentary, I think, next. I was looking at my order. I think that's what's next on the reacting agenda, but today we're going to be checking out Scaredy Cat. I have no idea what I'm getting into. I did play the first second just to hear, just to balance kind of my audio in my headphones, and there was a line about a manhunt. But apart from that, I don't know anything going into this. I know I'm rambling. I'm really sorry. Pause warning. This is a reaction. This is not the original content. Not only is this a reaction, but the way I actually do react to things, I pause a lot in real life. Like, I will be watching things and I will pause and do other things and come back, and that's how I react to things generally. I am autistic. It helps me process things. It allows me a time to give my thoughts without missing anything. If pausing is not for you, I totally understand. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. Let's get into Scaredy Cat. This is the official music video. Let's go.
Joining the manhunt.
The manhunt continues. Police reports discovering the horrific body.
6 years have passed by.
At the Devil's Diner.
Okay.
To say the suspect may be missing an eye.
Okay, so is the diner I saw back in No Blueberries? The Devil's Diner? I can't remember. It's been so long since I've reacted to that. I listen to the song a lot, but I'm someone who doesn't necessarily rewatch music videos unless I'm like really in the mood, just generally. So yeah, 6 years has passed. Devil's Diner, and they said reports were missing. Said they were missing an eye. Obviously, if I remember correctly, when Maito takes over, that's when the eye changes, if I remember rightly. Please let me know. And again, I'm so sorry. It's been, as I said, I've taken a bunch of breaks, so I'm so sorry if I'm misremembering things from the lore side of things. But yeah, I think I'm caught up. Oh, okay. I love the beats in DPR IAN songs.
I think I'm scared.
Okay.
Of all the signs. Don't ever leave me alone at night. I think I'm scared. I don't.
Okay. Song aside, I'm loving the song. I'm loving already the physical theater that he's bringing to the performance in this music video so far. He's making himself very small. He's leading with his shoulders a lot. it's giving that if you lean with your shoulders, it makes you look constricted and kind of constrained, which is a good kind of way of how to put it, representing fear, but also almost wanting to become invisible. And so I'm really liking the physical theater. I'm loving, and I'm sorry, this is probably going to be an obvious comparison. I'm loving the Joker-esque lipstick styling that we've got going on. I love his hair. I'm loving everything about this so far. I'm even loving kind of the setting. In the last music video, I remember the hotel room. There was a hotel room at the beginning of the music video, if I remember correctly. And I love the kind of I'm not going to use the word avant-garde because I'm avant-garde because I'm not sure that's the correct term, but I really like the high almost antique kind of hotels that he seems to like to film in for these music videos. There's an air of class and demureness to the music videos that make them feel sophisticated and also eerie. When you think of like horror films, you think like The Shining and things like that. A lot of like things that are meant to make you feel unsettled or unsettling. They're filmed in these kind of locations because of the intrigue and the mystique of them. And so obviously with the kind of the lyrics so far, it really leans into that, I feel. And so, yeah, I love this so far.
Leave me alone at night. I think I'm scared. I don't know why.
Oh, I like that.
Leave the lights on and close the blinds. Scaredy Cat.
Oh, okay. Oh, that little shuffle slide across the. Oh, I like that. Now I'm watching that again. I love it. And that twirl he did as well. No, I'm already pausing again. Shut up. It's fine. The shut up was to me, by the way. The spin, the twirl. I love the way that he is using movement. It's I don't know. It's just so satisfying to watch. I don't necessarily know if it's pertinent, if that makes sense, to the theme of being scared and being not just scared but afraid of himself and his other kind of personalities and things, because that's that's lyrically that's what I'm kind of getting so far is because it's the unknown. He doesn't know necessarily how to coexist with his other alters necessarily. And so there's a lyric just before the chorus about leaving him alone at night. Don't leave him alone at night. And that almost feels like he's trying to get someone else to regulate for him, if that makes sense. I might be wrong with that, but it feels like he's almost like, because I can't trust myself so much, I need to trust in someone externally who I can then rely on to keep me around, if that makes sense, or something. I don't know if that's necessarily what it is. Also, that's a really nice pause. I love the not just the kind of the framing of the pause, but just you've got this eerie lens. I'm assuming it's an in-camera lens effect. The specific type of lens, but you've got this warping going on. I think you can do this because it's closer to the edge. Although maybe not, maybe it is digital because I can't tell if that's warping or not. The bag is warping or not. But no, I like this warping effect regardless of whether it's in camera or post-production. Sorry, my eye. Hello, eye. It's funny that my eye is going during. I've got something in my eye, but it's funny my eye is annoying me during a DPR IAN reaction because obviously the significance of an eye. The eye for a visual. But no, I like the way the visual of this warping, almost like he's losing control right now, from a visual perspective, and he's slipping into that mode. I don't know if mode is the appropriate word, but mode where maybe he's slipping down and Maito is coming up. I love that. I still love it. I love the way you've got the in the music you've got the kind of the imitation of the scaredy cat do 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 do, as well as this ooh, ooh, ooh sound. It's almost like a vocalization of a siren. I don't know if that's how it's intended, but that's kind of the vibe it gives me when I hear it. Um, Almost like he's ringing his own alarm kind of thing. Like he's like, help me, knock, 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 help me kind of thing. I don't know if that's the intention, but that's kind of the feeling that I'm getting. Um, I really like it. Obviously, I know like the kind of the importance of the songs, kind of for allowing Ian to kind of share with us pieces of himself, and the all of include all all of the facets of him. But I always say this: he has such a way of producing and writing that it's it doesn't feel jarring, if that makes sense. It doesn't. It invites you in to listen. It doesn't push. It doesn't push you away, which is obviously very important for this kind of music, and for allowing Ian to tell his story. I had another thought before I wanted to unpause, but I'll come back to it if I remember. Oh, I like that. So I was actually going to mention, that's what I was going to mention. The contrast. There's different shots, specifically, especially in the chorus here. There are different contrasting shots. Like here, for instance, when he's doing the more dancing, and that's what I was going to update my earlier thought. The dancing feels like the reflection, perhaps, of mania. His maybe manic parts of his life, whereas the more like shoulder leaning, the more compressed body movements, and and things like that, they feel more like the more low parts. Please forgive me if I'm misremembering, but manic is up here, kind of thing, right? And then you have the low down here. I'm really sorry. I'm if I'm misremembering, please tell me respectfully if I am, because I don't want to be misterming things and misusing terms for things. But that sounds right, right? But there's definitely that contrast between the two states, where he's happy to. I'm saying happy. Happy is probably not the right word. Where he's able to. Able is probably the more word. To be more expressive, almost as a reflection of that state, versus where he's more constrained and doesn't feel able to. Again, I'm really sorry if at any point I misuse a term or anything like that. I'm not necessarily privy to all of the things, and I will admit I have forgotten some things since my last reaction, and that's completely my fault. It's been so long, and I am really sorry. But if anyone would like to tell me in the comments, please do. Correct me, and things like that. But yeah, I really like this song though. Again, I don't think so far there's not been a song that I haven't enjoyed listening to. And there are songs often, not DPR IAN, but just generally, that they take me a long time to warm up to. And usually that's a sign of a song that becomes like a mainstay. And so usually when it happens the opposite way, as it is here, often I play it to death and stuff like that. But I've learned recently the way of moderation and stuff like that, with kind of how I listen to music. And so I don't get burnt out on songs anymore as much. And so because I used to get scared. Sorry, I know this is a little. I used to get scared when I'd like a song straight away because I knew eventually I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna listen to it too much and it's gonna wear out on me. But now, as I said, I've learned to moderate. So it's a joy to be able to go, oh, I love this on the first listen, because I know that it's gonna be part of my music listening, if that makes sense for a long time. Just in the same way as the other way that where a song grows on me is, yeah. Sorry, little aside. Yeah, this shot here, I love that idea of putting Ian in the closet there. The idea of like a dirty little secret. And then we switch, assumedly, to Maito here, who's taking over it. So it's almost taking over it being the music video. So it almost feels like the first half of the music video was almost him kind of fighting against. I don't know if the phrase "being replaced" is appropriate, but being taken over by Maito. It feels like the first half was him trying to resist that, and then now obviously he has been taken over. In that way, Maito has kind of come to the forefront. Again, if taking over is also kind of the wrong verbiage, please let me know, and also let me know a better way of vocalizing that for the future. Yes. I just noticed the eyeball on his
I think
hand.
I'm scared, I have no time. I scream out loud just to see if I'm alive. I think I'm scared, I don't know why.
Ooh. So this part here feels more confident. And obviously I do remember Maito being there to kind of protect him from trauma and things like that. And so it feels like it's almost like the performance shots, if you like, where he's got the mic, that feels like the outward kind of visual. So it's like what you and I would see if we saw him around, kind of thing. And then these shots here are the internal. So you can see like the fiery the fire. I don't know if that's a reflection but in the bathtub. You see the fire. You see him kind of stomping around, moving around. We just saw Ian in the straitjacket. It's this constant struggle between the two of them. Maito seems to be creating a lot of chaos in here. It feels like because this feels like Maito, and it's almost like the hotel has become a metaphor for the mind palace, as you were, the internal processes, if you like, of Ian, Maito at this point. Yeah. Which honestly, now I think about it, having a hotel represent his mind honestly makes a lot of sense because he's very classy. And so I feel like, because he's even done like Instagram lives where he's been in these like really classy hotel rooms. And so I feel like that's perfect. Of having the setting be so classy and things like that.
Time,
Yeah, we got that that little call and response. I have no time, he has no time. You know, Maito is having a conversation with him. Sorry, I will get past this part.
I'm scared, I have no time. I scream out loud just to see if I'm alive. I think I'm scared, I don't know why. So leave the lights on, I'll stay inside. Because I'm a scaredy cat. Please no more heart attacks. Because I'm a scaredy cat. Please no more heart attacks. Down on.
I'm gonna come back to this because it sounds like we're gonna get a change up. These shots here with Ian walking through the hallway in the straitjacket, I think it's a really good representation, perhaps, of how he and an illustration of how he may perceive what happens when his alters take over. Obviously, I know now that more alters have been, I think, discovered by Ian. Please again correct me if that's wrong. It's just what I can remember with my flaky memory. But that sequence where he's moving through the hallways, he's constrained, just in the same way that when, assumedly, again, I don't know how it is, but assumedly when Maito or another alter take over, they take control of the body, so Ian can't do, manipulate his own body, move his own arms, anything like that kind of thing. So it's a perfect visual metaphor. And then I feel like the use of the corridor to the room as a sequence is almost kind of like him trying to find his way back to back to the surface. The room, I feel like, is almost like if you imagine like the center, your safe place, that kind of thing. It almost feels like he's trying to find that and then be able to maybe reassert himself in that way. Obviously, as well, with the title Scaredy Cat, and again, the idea of Maito protecting him from trauma. This song almost feels like an admission. The way that he refers to things in the kind of, I think there's almost not a certainty there. It's almost like you could imagine him maybe being sat in a therapist office, and someone kind of goes, tell me this and tell me that, and it almost feels like he's telling a therapist, or almost we're the therapist in a way. But the way he's so uncertain, I think I'm scared, I did it. It's almost like when Maito kind of takes over, because of the way in which he takes over, it's almost like it's not necessarily maybe a numbness, that's the only word I can kind of think of, but it's almost like a numbness is the only word I can think of, but he's become so unaware of pain, almost, and pain and trauma, because he is not processing it, because Maito is processing it for him, if that makes sense. And so it's it feels like that and again, going back to kind of the performance aspects of the music video, it almost feels like the idea of a spotlight being on him, the mic amplifying his concerns, so he's telling us for us to listen, if that makes sense. Oh, I like I like that, sorry. I'm gonna come back to this because I want to pause somewhere. So this feels like we've gone from overall a conversation to us, the audience. Over the course of this refrain, middle eight, whatever structurally you want to call this, it feels like here. So he's calling 911. He says call 911. And the visual of him being under the bed, being a representation again of him being pushed down, inside of himself, because of these traumas. It's almost like, and I don't know if I'm completely way off base with this, it's almost like at this point he starts talking to Maito. And so when he says call 911, he's not talking to us, he's talking to Maito. And it feels to me like it's almost like him saying to Maito, get someone external to you and I, to you and me. Get someone external to come in and bring me back from under the bed. Come and save me from being under the bed. It almost feels like he's saying to Maito at this point, and again, I might be way off base. Give me a chance to be scared. Give me a chance to process my own trauma without you coming in and trying to protect me. And this line here, and the reason I wanted to pause on this line here, sometimes I know you don't care. While yes, there could be an element of talking to us, because there's moments where you tell someone who is external to your own problems, your problems, and they kind of brush it off or they don't understand. While there is that there's also, again, this internal struggle where when Maito takes over, he does all of these things that then have repercussions for Ian, when Ian comes back. And so, again, here where he says, sometimes I know you don't care, it's almost like it's almost like there's an awareness of why Maito surfaces. But also there's an awareness of just how separate Maito is to him. They're all apart. They all live within the physical Ian, if that makes sense. But it's that acknowledgement of we are different. We are clashing. We are not together, if that makes sense. And I feel like that's such an important, if I'm right, again, if I'm off base, please tell me. But it's such an important thing for him to verbalize, I feel.
Sometimes I know you don't care, but I feel like I'm disappearing in a hole, and nobody will know, nobody will go, except when I'm with you, sitting in my room alone, and nobody will know, nobody will go, except when I'm with you.
I love the sensitivity with which that part was performed. The really like the falsetto almost high notes. Yeah, this part of the song definitely feels almost like he's sat at a table or sat at something opposite Maito, and they're just having a conversation in the corners of his psyche. They're just having a conversation. And again, there's references here, disappearing in a hole where no one, where nobody will know, nobody will go. Except I'm with you. And again, there's that acknowledgement of how again, when something's scary, something's dangerous, something's traumatic, Maito will be the person that will go. And again, the physical Ian, and again, I'm separating kind of Ian, the personality, with Ian, the physical body here again. When Maito takes over, obviously he takes over the physical Ian. And so, again, it's that acknowledgement that he is only able to go to these things, face these fears, when Maito does it for him. Which, when you think about it, is very heartbreaking. I think, because I can't imagine how Ian feels when he loses days, when he loses time. You know, the negative parts of life, the trauma parts of life, as much as they are trauma and negative, they are just as important as the joys. You know, you can't have the sun without the rain, the light without the dark. And so this feels like almost a conversation with Maito that's kind of like you're taking these things away from me. Almost, that's how it feels. Like, even the power of just saying, like, I'm a scaredy cat, being able to say that he thinks he's scared is to me such a powerful thing, because of that fact of when, and I'm not just saying like when he gets scared, but obviously it's a trauma that Maito comes out. But it's, again, that feeling that he never gets to deal with that, because Maito deals with it for him. Yeah, I really like the change up. The way I as I was just talking before we continue, I was like, oh, this sounds like we're getting to the end of the song. And I'm looking, and it's like, oh, it's 1:44 out of 3 minutes and 2. And I know I'm pausing a lot, but wow, I feel like the song has been so enveloping that I have been that it feels like it should have been longer, which is a really good thing. Again, just as the last thing, Ian's way of storytelling with his songwriting is so so complex, but so simple at the same time, and it allows you to get lost in the many layers of the lyrics and the sounds.
Except when I'm with you, sitting in my room alone, when nobody will know, nobody will go. Except when I'm. Why does no one understand when I say I am just afraid? Why does no one lend a hand when I say I will drift away? And there are clouds in the sky, and I'm always terrified they might just rain on me. I'm losing my mind. I wanna think I'll be alright. Just hold my hands, you'll see.
Okay, I'm going to pause here because I want to talk about all of that, and that seemed like a perfect musical pause for me. Him openly saying, like, why does no one help me? Why does no one lend a hand? I feel like that's such a problem we have in society with conditions, whether mental, physical. If you've ever watched those videos where someone who's disabled like struggles in the middle of the street and they see if anyone will help them, you'll notice how many people just walk on by. They just move on. And with conditions that involve the mental side of things, the psyche, things such as Ian's bipolar and DID. DID? Is it DID? Please, oh my god, please let me know if I've misremembered that. I remembered the bipolar part, obviously. Is that what it's called? Please let me know. Again, I don't want to be but when you have conditions like Ian does, where they're mental, I feel like it becomes even more of other people just walk on by kind of situation, because and I know this from being autistic, people will look at us and go, well, you look fine. Even with like kind of my physical parts of physical conditions, because my physical conditions are invisible until, you know, they get really bad. People will look at me and go, oh, well, you look fine. There's nothing, you know, da, 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 da. And so I imagine Ian has had the same kind of experiences where, again, I was saying at about the beginning of the music video, he's aware he's about to lose himself to Maito's control over his physical self, and you know he's begging for people, stay with me, don't let me be alone, you know, help me. It's almost like, and again, please let me know if this is inappropriate, but it's almost like, keep me lucid, keep me here, keep me present as much as you can. But it, you know, no one does. And so, you know, we've seen the kind of the consequences, even just like the visualizations of those consequences in previous music videos. With I think it was Nerves, where he wakes up in the middle of nowhere, like with marks across his face and things, like he's been in a fight. And yeah, it feels so heartbreaking, that idea of asking for help, that need for help in that moment. And people either think you don't need help, or they don't think it's that bad, or they straight up just kind of go, nah, you'll be fine, and then walk away. I love visually the way we've got these lovely picture-in-picture shots, the way that the picture is taking over, and we've got this this contrast between Ian and Maito. And I've had another thought just now, and it might completely undermine everything I've said, but it's an alternative little perspective. Maybe rather than Ian saying he's a scaredy cat, maybe it's Maito. I don't know if that's wild, or if that's again completely off base, but maybe that's Maito's admission. You know, you have me face all these traumatic and dangerous and worrying, scaring things as your shield, but I get scared too. I don't know if that's an appropriate or correct interpretation, but either way, the way that this sequence goes with the picture-in-picture sequence, it's almost that it's almost like the battle of control for the physical Ian, you know, who is going to be the present one. And obviously the way that it works is these picture-in-pictures take over, and then we switch to the shot of I'm gonna say it's Ian, but it could be Maito, actually, given this alternative interpretation that I just thought of. And it's almost like, yeah, then it becomes he's maybe finding his strength to retake over, or vice versa. I'm loving the bass line too for this. I just wanted to say that. Ooh, okay. Okay, so first, I think I was right with my first interpretation. I know that you think I'm a scaredy cat. So yeah, he's talking. I was right the first way, I think. He's saying to Maito, you know, you come out when I get scared. So I know you think I'm a scaredy cat. Second thing, I just want to talk about the beautiful harmony. You've got this main vocal line and then the on the top of it, which is just really really pretty to listen to.
I know that you think, oh, oh, scaredy cat, please no more heart attacks. Oh, oh, scaredy cat, please no more heart attacks.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Sorry, I just want to make sure there's nothing else. Okay, I love the shot here of the elevators opening and closing, and the switch from color to black and white. So yeah, this whole song, this whole song feels. Yeah, I'm doubling down it on my first interpretation. This is not Maito, Ian begging people to help him because he can feel himself shifting into the depths of his psyche, and Maito taking over him. And it's this power struggle throughout. You know, Maito keeps putting him in the closet, putting him in a straitjacket, putting him everywhere that's not kind of the center of his psyche and his physical self. And then it's this, it almost becomes at the end a plead, almost like, I know you think I'm scared. I know, but please stop almost. And then it's almost like this inevitable thing at the end where he goes in to the elevator and it closes as Ian, and then it reopens and it's Maito. If I remember rightly, from the last reaction, and I think I've done actually quite well at remembering things that you guys have told me, given how long it's been. But since my last reaction, I remember, I think you guys mentioned that black and white represents Maito. And so immediately you got that switch from the colorfulness of Ian's reality to the black and white of Maito's. Wow. I've been recording for 42 minutes. Oh my god, you guys. I know I take a long time with these things, but I genuinely think art in general, but especially with Ian's music, I think if I was just to react like for 3 minutes or 4 minutes, this is a 3 minute song, so we'll say like 4 minutes or 5 minutes, I don't think I would appreciate all of the nuances. I don't think I'd have all of the conversations that I've been having throughout this reaction. I think, and I think that would be a disservice to Ian. I think that generally across music, and that's why most of my videos are as long as they are. But I think with Ian, I think giving him all of this care in thought, I think not doing that would be an injustice to the art that he's putting out, both from the visual music video perspective as well as the auditory experience of the song and the lyrical content of the song. But yeah, wow. I think, again, going back to what I said earlier about the way his songwriting is so inviting to listen to. Obviously he could have made a song where it was loud and bombastic and dramatic and dark. You know, you could have made an auditory battlefield to represent this kind of struggle that I feel that the song kind of is documenting and telling us about. But instead, he goes with this up-tempo, easily listenable song, great bass line, really, really satisfying vocals and harmonies. I think I got the harmony wrong when I said earlier. I apologize. I'm not the singer here. It's fine. But you have all of these the layers. I was going to say melodies there. All of these layers that come together to tell us this story, and it just allows us. It's almost like from an auditory perspective, it's almost like because he knows how people react when he tells them, I need help, da 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 da. It's almost like it's the musical equivalent of knowing that and saying to someone, please stay. Please stay and listen and pay attention to this. Pay attention to my struggle and see my struggle is real and see how it's affecting me. Don't just, brush it off and walk away. And I feel like that accessibility to his kind of his psyche and his altar and his relationship with his altars, I feel like is so important because he wants people to listen, I think, and he wants people to understand. That's I think the fundamental importance of his songs for us. Obviously, there's the obviously the entertainment value of a song and a piece of art, and of course they're entertaining from that way. But I feel like he could have easily have made this like a cacophony and a dramatic battlefield of a song. Um, it would have been an entirely different song, of course, um, but it wouldn't have had the same effect, I don't think, um, because you might have to be in a certain mood yourself to listen to that. You might people joke about and say like, oh, I've got a sad playlist and I've got a happy playlist. This is a song that can easily, because of the subject matter, it can go into the more of the darker moods, but because of the sound, it equally balances it. So it's a song that you could listen to and really feel the emotion of the song and feel the depth of the song. But then there's also if you just want a song that you can sing along, like the hook of the song, I'm a scaredy cat. It's immediately in um in your head. Again an easy listening kind of thing, and so you can both be aware of it and not, and it's almost like again the auditory equivalent of him asking for help. It's that idea of you can choose whether you want to try and help. And I say that obviously, things are happening. Sorry, I hit my keyboard. um, it, um, do you know what I mean? It's whether it's almost like he's giving the listener a second chance. Please listen to me, and it's like a second chance every time you hear it, depending on how you want to react to it, and how you want to interact with it. But yeah, I really liked it. As I said earlier, there's not a song that I've listened to so far that I've reacted to so far, that I've disliked, that I've thought was not my taste. And as I said earlier, the staying power of songs like that, the fact that I have liked them on the first listen, and that I've still liked them, many listens later and stuff like that without getting burned out. I think that's also so important. Again, especially when you think about that idea of like a second chance listening. You don't want to necessarily have a last time listening to a song in that case. But yeah, I've said a lot, I've yapped a lot, I've reacted a lot today to this wonderful song. I'm saying wonderful because it is, from a musical perspective, wonderful to listen to, even in spite of what it is about. Um, and yeah, I want you guys to let me know your guys' thoughts. Obviously, throughout, I've said a lot of things that might need correcting. Please feel free to do so. A big reason why I love reacting to DPR IAN, artists in general, but DPR IAN especially, is you guys will tell me if I'm wrong, correct me. You guys will affirm me if you think I'm right, based on what you guys know. And I love that. That's the biggest reason why I react to artists in general, but especially why I react to IAN. So yeah, as I always say, this is not the original content. Please go and support the original content. The music video is phenomenal. I will be adding this to my title going forward after recording, and yeah, so please go and support the original content, the original song, video, all of it. This is just my reaction. This again, it's not a substitute for the original content. Yeah, as I said, leave your comments in the comments below. Thank you guys for being here. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone. Bye.